Hey guys, welcome to another PHP lesson. Today we're going to talk about another type of loops called for loops. But before that, I just want to fix a little mistake from my last lesson. And basically you can see that I have all of these dollar amounts with 3 or 5 or 7 decimal places, and usually that doesn't happen with money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this number to 2 decimal places, and I'll show you guys how to round. Basically I just have variable p equals, so I'm rounding variable p, so I'm going to put in round bracket, and I'll talk more about functions later on, but basically round is a function that you can use to round variables. So I'm going to round the variable p to 2 decimal places, and that's the syntax for that. And basically if you refresh the screen now, you'll see that all the dollar amounts are now 2 decimal places, which is pretty handy. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the while loop into a for loop. So what is a for loop? A for loop basically is used when you know exactly how many times you're going to run these commands. And as you can see, I pretty much know already that I'm going to run this command 5 times, because the time in years is 5. So a while loop does work, but technically we should use a for loop here because we know how many years we're gonna conduct this operation. Whereas the while loop is probably used for when you're not sure how many times you're gonna run this. So you're gonna keep checking, keep testing whether this condition is true or false. And if it's true, then you keep running it. If it's false, you jump out of it. So the syntax for for loops is quite simple. Basically you type for, and you have the variable n. So actually I'm just going to leave this there for the next while loop. I'm going to leave the while loop there. And so I'll do the same thing with for loop, so you can see that it basically has the same effect as a while loop. And I'm going to make up the variable x. I'm going to make it start with 1. Okay, so initially x is 1, and we're going to continue running the commands inside the for loop when x is smaller than or equal to 5. And then we're going to add x by 1. Okay, and basically we're going to copy all of this code here. So we're going to increase principal by an amount which equals the interest rate. We're going to round the principal. We're going to echo on the screen, at the end of the year you will have this much money. And that's all you need to do. Alright, so oops, I should have another bracket here. Okay, so for now I'm gonna delete this I'm gonna comment out this section of the code. So put in /*, and at the end of this put in // and so this section of the code will not be executed because they're now comments. So if you save this and refresh this screen, and undefined variable, line 26, line 26, so we need to change this n to x. Refresh. So you can see that we pretty much did exactly the same thing as the while loop, but using the for loop. Now if I activated this, actually we won't do that today, otherwise it's not going to make sense. Okay, so hopefully after watching this tutorial you have a better understanding of for loops, and you can see that it can do pretty much exact same thing as the while loop, but it's more suitable when you know exactly how many times you're going to run these commands. And I'll see you guys next time.